Hey guys, Mark McMahon Real Estate coming at you today. All right, today I want to tell you about the one thing, the most important thing that you can do in real estate, which is finding a house, finding a property. I'm going to go over how to do it. I'm going to go over why it's so important, why that's the most important step. Hey, if that's something that's interesting, please hit the like button. Please subscribe, sign up for notifications. Allie gets a kick out of that, don't you, Allie?
Yes.
All right, here we go. So a lot of time is spent by most beginning investors looking at every aspect of real estate investing, from LLC formation to property management to construction to, oh gosh, I don't know, who's going to maintain the yard, who's going to do this, who's going to do that. All very important components to investing. But what happens though is the thing that's going to actually get you to move forward in this business, the one thing that you really need to concentrate on, kind of seems to get pushed to the back. And the reason why, and I figured it out, the reason why, because I've done the same thing before, and I hate to use the phrase analysis paralysis. It's not even analyzing so much. It's just wanting to know the answers to everything before you get started. And that is the biggest impediment to people getting started, because what happens is it's so overwhelming trying to figure everything out. Because believe me, I get questions every day. Allie goes through them, I go through them. There's, on a weekly basis, Allie, what is it? Probably at least a couple hundred questions, right, that come in every week. And overwhelmingly, it's so specific, and maybe that's what the person's looking for, is that specificity, being specific about something. But a lot of times I think what it is it's just something that's like, oh yeah, what if this happens? I better ask. Better yet, so there's two components to real estate investing that are the most important, and number one is finding the house, number two is funding. Today I want to talk about finding the house, not the funding. Funding will come later on, but finding the house can be the hardest thing there is to do. Funny thing is, the other little things that we were talking about earlier, which is LLC formation, property management, what kind of faucet should I put in? If there's two toilets in the house, should I make one of them high, one of them low? You know, these are some of the questions I get. It doesn't matter. What matters is getting a house under contract. And most people don't realize the importance of that one action, the one thing that you need to do to move forward, because nothing else is going to happen until you get a property under contract. You'll talk yourself to death. You'll ask questions to death. You'll go to meetings to death. You'll watch podcasts to death, and YouTube and Instagram and TikTok to death, until you're so confused and so thoroughly exhausted, you decide that this might not be for me. When in reality, if you just took a little bite, chewed it up, swallowed it, and then took another bite, you'd be better off. So what's the first bite you should take? Finding a house, finding a property. Because really all the information's out there on the rest of that jazz. It really is. You go to my Instagram, you watch the rest of my videos on YouTube, I go over a lot of those details, and if I don't, someone else does. Guaranteed. Your specific question down to what size baseboard I should use on a rental, more than likely somebody out there has made a video about baseboards. All right? I'm not going to do it, but somebody else did. If that's your deal, you'll find it. But not here. Here I want to talk about the basics. The basics are finding the house or the property and being able to finance it. So I'll break it down even more today. I don't want to talk about money. It's not that important today. I want to talk about how you guys go about finding properties. So how are we going to do it? Number one, most people, if you take a course on how to find houses or how to wholesale, which is probably the best way to find a house, it talks about spending a buttload of money. You're talking about cold calling, and you're talking about 3-line dialers, and you're talking about hiring cold callers, and you're talking about doing postcards and all these things that cost money, and you don't necessarily need to do that, guys. It's a relationship-driven business. It's built on trust and relationships. You need to build relationships, and the properties will come to you. We have properties come to us every week based on the relationships that we've made over the years. Is that going to happen for you to begin with? No, it's not. But neither is spending all your money on postcards, cold callers, and the whole 9 yards, the whole Megillah. That's not going to produce it right away either. Typically, no matter who you are in this business, and I've got it on the best authority, which is a lot of guys that do exactly what I do that are successful at it, 4 months to your first deal if you're just starting. If you're just crazy lucky, it might happen sooner. But for the most part, for normal people, it takes 4 months to find your first house. So don't you think you ought to get started on that 4 months today? Makes sense, right? If you want to start investing pretty soon, it's going to take 4 months to find your first property. I'll tell you right now. Or, I mean, you could go out and buy one off the MLS for full price. I mean, there's that. But I'm talking about if you want to get a good deal. Because my rule of thumb is, if you haven't watched my videos before, my rule of thumb is buy a property undervalued, make sure it cash flows. 2 very simple rules that are very hard to follow. Buy a property undervalue, make sure it cash flows. Now, I know you're going to ask, how much should it cash flow? How much undervalue should it be? That's not what this video is about. I've done videos on that. I want you guys just to concentrate on learning how to find houses. If you get good at that, the rest will follow, guaranteed. You will find somebody that wants it, which will make you money, which will get you back into finding more houses, right? One begats the other. If you find a house, someone's going to want it. If it's a deal, if it's a stupid deal or a bad deal, no one's going to want it. In which case, you should go to yourself, maybe I don't want it. All right? So, how do we go about finding houses? Specifically, because I know that's what you're here for. I typically will talk to a lot of real estate agents. You would think that real estate agents aren't going to bring you deals because you're paying bottom dollar, but real estate agents get crappy houses too that they don't want to list. Real estate agents get houses that they don't want to, that the homeowner doesn't want to list. They don't want people walking through their ugly house. They don't want people there. They don't like real estate agents. So whatever the case may be, you're going to be able to find a lot of houses through real estate agents, relationships with them. Maybe sometimes they just want to let the house go. Maybe someone wants to sell it quick and a cash offer is what they want. Maybe that's what it is. Doesn't matter what the reasoning is. Real estate agents, it would seem, have the most deals because that's what they do. Now, I don't know what the statistics are on houses that sell in the United States, but I would hazard a guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, that at least 90% of the houses in the United States that sell every year sell through a real estate agent or broker. Maybe I'm wrong. I really don't care if I'm wrong. All I know is the majority of houses are going to sell through a real estate agent. So that leaves, let's say, my guesstimate of 10% houses are going to be going to investors that deal directly with the homeowner. The rest of them going to go through a real estate agent. So, do you want to take a chance on the 10% or the 90%? I'd say 90% is a good place to start if you're just getting into the game. So how do you make that relationship with that real estate agent? Well, I'll tell you. Call them. Call them on a listing that they've got. Talk to them. Say, I'm an investor. I'm interested in buying this house. How firm are you on the price? And they're going to say, well, we're pretty firm on the price on this one. It's been remodeled and this and that and the other. And of course, that's not what you're looking for. We know that. What you're looking for is the next sentence that I'm going to say, which hardly anybody uses for some strange reason. Doesn't sound like that one's a match for me. Is there anything else that you've got coming up that might work for me, that maybe is distressed property or someone just wants to sell quick? Most of the time you're going to hear no. All right? Be ready for it. Embrace it. And enjoy it. Makes the yeses that much sweeter. But every once in a while you will hear the magic word yes. I've got one coming up. Don't know how much of a discount it's going to be. But if you want to take a look at it, we can do it. And the better relationship you have with that agent, the better chance you're going to have of being the first person to see that deal, maybe the only person to see that deal, and maybe get a better price. Now, because of your relationship, they know that you'll be able to close it. Make sense? All right, so you've established the relationship. And guys, this is as far as we're going to go in this video. That's it. I'm giving you the one thing that works the best for us, and I shouldn't even be doing that. Not that I don't love you all, each and every one of you, but it is something that I know most people aren't going to execute on, so I'm not really worried about the competition. But if you are one of the few that can execute on this one tip, this one thing, which is forget all the other crap and concentrate on finding houses, you will win in this game. Worry about all the other stuff, and everybody else that's just worried about houses, they're focused on finding houses, they're going to pass you right by. And you don't want that, because every time a house passes you by, that's money you didn't make. So you want as many as you can get. It's okay to be greedy. I don't have a problem with it. Be nice to other investors, but you can be greedy too. All right, guys, I hope that helps. I hope I presented it in a way that is understandable to you. Your takeaway on this, two things. Two important things, please write it down. Focus on finding the house. Number one. Number two, focus on real estate agents that get a lot of listings, that have 90% of the houses, a guesstimate, going through their machine every single year. Guys, do this, you will succeed. All right. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the like button and sign up for notifications. There's a couple of videos at the end that Allie's going to put on that'll help also in your quest for finding houses. There's a list down below on buying your first house. Guys, even if you don't have the money to get started today, download the list. It's free. It just takes you through the steps. Start today. Start looking for houses. Start getting pre-qualified. Do all the things that you got to do. Get everything lined up. All right, you can do things before you're ready. Also, guys and girls, if you're in the Southern California area on June 12th, we're going to be starting our first boot camp on how to find houses. If you guys are interested, if you can be here, this is a hands-on experience, very intense, 90 days of training. Guys, if you're interested, please go down to the link below, fill out the questionnaire and sign up. You will not regret this. This is going to be the best boot camp that has ever been put together on finding real estate, bar none, guaranteed. Sign up. All right, guys, have a great day. I will see you later. Hey guys, check out these two videos. They're really going to help you on your investment journey. I'm also on Instagram, tons of great video content there, really good stuff. Please subscribe. I'll see you next time.